Today we're with Jack Reinard. He owns LI Rent-A-Tent, and he's got to be one of the youngest entrepreneurial people that I have ever met here in St. James.
Thank you.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about Rent-A-Tent.
So what we mainly do is tent rentals. It's not just tents. We have tents, tables, chairs, dance floors, portable bars, lighting, heaters. So we'll go to your house. Typically, we set up the day before. You'll have the tent and everything else for the entire day, and then we'll come back typically the next morning to pick everything up for you. That's pretty much the entire procedure.
So you can order a whole package or just the tent.
Yeah, so we do, yeah, so you can order just a tent, you can order an entire package, if you need tables and chairs for the day for extra seating if you're having a party, we do that as well, and we don't do any additional fees, anything like that. It's all flat rate pricing. We're not trying to get you for extra money.
Okay. Tell me something, you're 18 and you already own a company. What motivated you throughout the years to say, I want to start my own business? I don't want to go down this avenue or that avenue. What was the real motivation behind that?
It was really just from working so much. I worked all around town since I was younger. I started working when I was 12 for my friend's dad's beer store, and that's really what built the building blocks and the foundation for me. That's where I really learned how to work, and throughout the years I've had countless other jobs around town, like working at Gargiulo's Bakery, Rocco's Pizza, Up in Smoke Barbecue, which I still work at, and just from the influence of all of them, my bosses over the years, they're all great people. I'm very close with all of them still. But just from that, and another big thing was the influence of my grandpa. He was a big influence. I grew up in his cigar store. I was there since I was 5, and grew up around all those guys, and they influenced me with business. And I learned a lot through my grandpa and through the guys that go into the store. So when I turned 17, I said to myself, what's something that I can open for myself? Because I wanted something for myself. I wanted, to go out and do my own thing at that point. And from working for Up in Smoke, I really liked going around to all the different houses, meeting different people. And I thought of a service business I can do, and tent rentals kind of went hand in hand with the barbecue catering. So that was pretty much how it started.
Yeah, that's amazing. So really keys into who you surround yourself with is how you're going to be influenced the rest of your life.
Pretty much so.
Right?
Yeah.
And you manage to be in this group of business-minded business owners.
Since I was from a young age, and that's pretty much what started it off, I think.
Right.
So
Got
planted
to hang out
the
with
seed.
Grandpa,
Yeah, planted the seed in my head.
Now it turned into LI Rent-A-Tent.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about your tents. You have one size, many?
No, so yeah, we have many sizes. When I first started the company, I started off with a 20 by 20 and 20 by 30 pole tent with 60 chairs and 10 round tables and a handful of banquet tables. So the pole tents were a good starter. Those are tension-based tents, so basically they're only able to go on grass, and you have to have, stakes all around and fully ratcheted. So it was a limited solution for me, but it was a good starter. Then eventually, in June, I bought out another company based in Hicksville, and I acquired High Peaks, which is the tent that I mainly use now, and those are very versatile. They can go on cement, patios, decks, really anything. They don't require as many stakes. They look a little bit nicer, in my opinion. And that's just, that's the two types.
Okay, so you started out with one tent.
Yeah,
small,
started basic, and then worked my way up. And now what we do is the smallest size tent I have is a 15 by 20, and it ranges all the way up to, you can do 20 by 60, 20 by 80, 30 by 40. At this point, I can handle a capacity of about, I would say, 200 to 250 people.
Wow, 250 person
Tent, yeah.
tent
For
or party
seating, yeah, 200
in your backyard. Yeah. And when you think about, I think about the cost of renting a catering hall compared to staying at home and inviting your friends over. Like,
yeah, it's a much cheaper solution, really, is what it's going to be. And, I have various recommended vendors that I work with. The main one that I really recommend is Jeff from Up in Smoke.
Yeah.
And I still work for him as well. So typically, if I'm doing a tent for your party, I'm going to doing the barbecue catering as well.
Right.
So.
Okay. Wow,
It's a cheaper solution to do it in your backyard.
How long did it take you to get your business set up, fully so you're complete,
licensed, insured,
legit?
Oh yeah, legit. Took about, I would say, a month or so.
Okay.
That's really what it was. Between getting the insurance and filing the corporation, it was about a month. But, that was just the beginning, because then I also had to write up a contract, and there's obviously the marketing to it as well. So I started it when I was 17, senior year of high school. I graduated Smithtown East last year, and pretty much throughout my entire senior year, I was working on the company. I was, doing the social media posts, updating the website, using my senior year to really focus on doing that.
So business development.
Yeah.
And is high school helped you out with that
partially
business development, or was that grandpa?
It was, I would say, mainly my grandpa, because I believe that you learn more from experience than from doing it, just from what the teacher says in a classroom. I think if you went out and actually tried to start your own business on your own, you're going to learn a lot more than what a classroom can teach you. They give you the foundation, but it's just the foundation. Right. You actually have to build on it. There's going to be lessons all along the way. I've, learned some pretty expensive lessons, honestly, and that's what it is, It's not failures, it's an expensive lesson. I tried starting, adding in bounce houses, and the insurance was just too high on them, so I had to sell them. So, I took a bit of a loss on it. But some people look at it as, a loss and a failure, but I look at it as it's an expensive lesson,
Right, yeah. And I think that's, you just touched on something. I think that's a key thing in business is some business owners, not everyone, but some business owners will look at every obstacle as an actual obstacle. Whereas you seem to be taking obstacles as challenges.
No, of course, yeah.
That are room for growth.
Yeah, of course. There's obstacles with everything. I've encountered my fair share throughout the year that I've been in business now. But at the point that I've gotten to is, when you're faced with the obstacle in the moment, I just think to myself now, well, in a couple hours, it's going to be solved either way. I'm going to figure it out either way, and all those little annoying things that happen and go wrong it's making you better. You're growing from it, so, next time it does happen, you're going to know the solution.
Right. I always look at stuff with, okay, here's all the things I'm not going to do in the future.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's things that you do and then you might be a failure, but then you're like, okay, put that in that bucket, because now I know those are things that I'm not going to do.
Doesn't work and
what works and what doesn't work. That's awesome. Where do you see your tent business going in the next 2 to 3 years?
In the next 2 to 3 years, I want to start emerging into doing higher scale weddings, and getting different various types of tents, and I want to basically have 2 divisions of rent a tent. Pretty much have a backyard division where we're doing a lot of backyard parties, a lot of smaller stuff, but then upscaling to doing some higher end weddings and getting into a lot more venues.
Okay.
Right now I have, I'm in the contract at the Bates House in Setauket. So
Oh, nice.
I want to start trying to emerge into that a little more. But really, I love doing residential. I
Yeah.
think it's a lot better. So.
Yeah. Well, I feel like the every day in and out, setup, meeting new people, obtaining new clients, there's always a challenge. You're always constantly
Yeah.
driving for business, which creates more growth,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
How do people get a hold of you? Because party planning has got to start now
yeah.
for the summertime. Like, book your tents.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's better to book them early than later because you don't know about availability, and and you're gonna have to do it either way. So you might as well get it done early than later.
Right.
But yeah, you can find me on my website, lirentent.com. There you can request a quote online, check out the packages as well, or you can text me or call me at 631-682-7250. And we can talk about the best solution for your party.
Yeah, it's awesome. And any party goes, as long as they have a flat spot in their yard, they're good to go, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, or even it depends, really, because we can do it on a little bit of a slope. It just depends,
Okay.
But yeah, as long as you have the space for the tent, we'll make it happen.
Yep. I remember we rented a tent for our in-laws' 50th wedding anniversary, and it just made the whole day. It's a beautiful tent out by the pool.
It's
really
definitely
nice.
a nice add-on to parties.
Yeah.
It's definitely a nice addition.
Definitely. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, man.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you for having me, and looking forward to seeing you grow. It's amazing. It's really amazing seeing such a young person, fresh out of high school, starting their own company and really thriving at it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you're growing.
This summer was insane. My original goal was to do 15 parties, and we've went well over that now.
Nice.
So it's been a great success this entire summer.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
So,
Good luck.
Thank you, and remember, if you need a tent for your event, call Rent a Tent.
There you go. Awesome.